Welcome to OrderEase. Today we'll be walking through a very high-level summary of the OrderEase platform, some of the core functionality, and the core value that we bring to suppliers and retailers in a connected supply chain. Starting, we'll be looking at the dashboard or the homepage. The dashboard simply brings all of your orders across all your different channels into OrderEase and standardizes them to meet the criteria and format of your ERP and supplementary systems. On your dashboard, it will default to the last 7 days, but you could simply go in and decide what you would like to see in terms of the timeline. If we go back to last month, it'll simply show us the amount of orders, the total sales volume that we've captured across all of our connected channels, along with a quick summary of those individual orders as well in terms of the customer name, the offering, items, submission dates, value, the user that submitted it, and the status of that order that typically lines up with the status of the ERP, shipping systems, warehousing systems, or any other connected internal systems into your workflow. You'll see your rep totals to follow along and see what they've contributed based on the timeline to total sales and who your top reps were for that timeline as well. Group totals can define regions, different types of customers and segments to actually see out of those 45 orders and 29,000, where are they actually coming from. The unsubmitted orders are all of the opportunities. So based on this month or last month or whatever the date range might be, we can see that we have 8 orders and about $8,000 in orders that are being currently worked on or abandoned carts. So supplier knows, hey, we have a $717 order that was created at the end of March. We know who it's for, what offering, and who ultimately created, whether it was the customer or the rep. Things like curious customers will tell you, the timestamps of customers that are logging into your system or your staff, and pending relationships on new customer accounts that are waiting to hear back from you if they registered right from the supplier's website. We also have your customers tab, which will have a list of all customers doing business with you, typically pulled from the ERP. Administrators can see the full list of customers, while as sales reps or certain territory reps might only have access to the reps or the customers in their specific region, territory, or list. We can filter through the list, and of course, we can also search through the list to find the exact customer that we're looking for. If you do click on a customer, you'll get their profile, so you can see the full company information from name, email, phone number, billing, ship to address, Google Map location, all the contacts that you work with at that particular retail location, and the private information, which are typically the links back to the ERP system. You can also look at the order history for this individual customer, giving you the ability to print, download, export, or even reorder. If you pick an order from, let's say, last month, you're able to, at one click, place a reorder and make adjustments as well. Things like assignments, so you can see who the assigned reps might be, but also what groups they're tied to in terms of pricing, order minimums, catalog access, and a plethora of other functionality that groups can delineate. And last but not least, a simple notes section. Think of it like a simple sales CRM, where you can leave company notes, additional notes, and see all the notes that have been passed back and forth on the individual orders for historical record. We also have the sales order section. It's a dedicated area where all your orders will be consolidated in one simple and easy to navigate area. You'll be able to see different statuses, your integrations, requested shipping dates, and of course a summary, just like you saw on the dashboard of that individual order. You of course can review the order to print it. You can process it if you'd like to have a manual touch point, depending on what type of order it might be. It might require a bit of more customer or staff intervention. But it's all neatly organized. And of course, you can filter your orders based on what you want to see. And you can see the different statuses and the total value based on the timeline that you've selected in the last 7 days, for example. We do have a shipments and invoices area, typically very popular with EDI transmissions. We're able to pull the different shipment details right from the warehousing or shipping and logistics systems. And of course, we have the invoices area where we can pull a finalized invoice from the ERP, whether it's for historical record, for customer record, or for transmission if it's required through an EDI trading partner. Outside of that, we have some other great functionality, such as marketing, Think of it like a communications builder, a way to send email blasts or recurring emails, and even a library or a simple PIM system so you can house all your sales assets, media, collateral, images, brochures, safety sheets. So it's all accessible to your customers in one place when they log in. And you can decide which of these assets are shown to which groups of customers if there's certain ones that are relative to some, but not relative to others. One of the really cool functions as well is we have a function called Pages. Think of it like the landing page that a customer will see when they log in. You could have as many or as few landing pages as you like. They're all pretty standardized, so you can build one and replicate that across different landing pages. And it just allows you to communicate with maybe certain groups of clients very specifically, or you can personalize it to that group of clients. You think of it like communicating with home hardware specifically, independent garden centers, grocery stores, hotels, whatever it might be. It just personalizes that first experience when that customer logs in. And as you can see, simple banner, a little bit of an about you section, all the different sales media and assets you want to have front and center to the customer, and a really simple place your order here, place order now, whatever the supplier would like this to say. So it's clear as day to go in and start their order. In the integrations tab, it's always growing. OrderEase runs about 2 sprints every month, every 2 weeks. And as you can see, as we just quickly scroll through, the opportunities, integrations are endless. There are tons of possibilities, trading partners, systems, logistics, anything a supplier would need to start connecting their workflow. And this is always growing based on the needs of clients, on what systems they're operating on, or what integrations they might require. As we go in, we'll start placing a sample order and just have a quick look at the process. So if I'm in as a sales rep, I can simply go to my customer list or even an administrator doing inside sales, find the customer and click order. If it's the customer logging in, they'll simply land on their landing page and do the exact thing, place their order now. So let's have a look. First, when I click order, it'll let me know if there's any saved orders that I'm currently working on, maybe would like to continue, or perhaps some orders that were shared amongst myself and my sales rep that we're collaborating on, and I can reopen to see any changes that were being made between both parties. If there was no orders pending, and the customer gets access to multiple offerings, it would first pop up, asking them which offering would they like to access and place an order for. Customers will only ever see the offerings that they've been allocated. And if a rep hits order next to a customer, it'll only show the rep the offerings that, again, that customer has access to. So let's go ahead and click on the general wholesale catalog. As it loads, brings up the customer specific pricing, order history. It will populate with a welcome message, which can say anything that you would like. Once I hit got it, takes me into the ordering experience, which can be displayed in one of 2 ways, and a supplier can decide which one is defaulted, either the list view, which is the most popular in my opinion across very traditional industries, but we do offer the tile view, which seems to be very popular with more decorative suppliers, furniture, fashion, decor, artwork, whatever it might be. The ordering experience is very simple. You could search from your phone in the dedicated app. There's barcode scanning, simple navigation through different categories or subcategories. You can even build a favorites list as a rep for a customer or a customer themselves, just to say, hey, show me my favorites. Or very similarly, just show me new products, just show me this brand. And we can build in as many of these different tags, as we call them, as a supplier would like. And what we typically ask are, what are the common questions you might be getting asked from your customers? What do you have in black vinyl? Those should be 2 different criteria. And with 1 to 2 clicks, you should be able to find exactly what you're looking for. Outside of that, if you'd like to look up a little bit more information about a product, you can always scroll to the product of interest, click on the name, and we'll give you a dedicated pop-up with all the specifics to this product from multiple images, which you could download. You can blow up the images. You can see that this product offers different pricing incentives. The more you buy, the more you save. Inventory available, different variants if it comes in different colors and sizes, and also some feature tags, which can say whatever a supplier would like, which is the cheat sheet for any rep or customer that just wants the short and sweet of a product. Outside of that, different ways to order. I can simply fill in the quantities, as I know that there's 6 in a case. So if I want 2 cases of 6, I would simply say I would like 2, add it to my order, and it's now on my order, calculating my total at the bottom right. You could also just work through this view and say I'd like 1 case of this of 6, and we'll take 2 cases of that. It's as simple as that to build your order. Once you've got your order together, you can click on the truck icon, add any notes, add photography, any supporting documentation, have a nice line item breakdown of that item that you've ordered. And if there's any minimums or extra incentives, they'll all be displayed at the bottom here. But once there's a check mark in the truck, you're good to go. With 2 options, you can save the order to work on later. You could save it to share it with either your buyer as a rep or share it with your rep if you're in with the buying experience. But if all is well, you could simply hit submit, fill in the order form. There's custom fields that we can add in as well based on the supplier's needs, and a supplier can simply state which of these fields are mandatory to fill out. Once you hit continue, validates the shipping address. You could, of course, request an alternate ship to, very popular with the trades that would like their products sent directly to a job site, fill in all the special instructions and criteria, but hit submit, and it will validate one last time to say, are you ready to submit this order into the supplier? You would simply say yes, and it would take a rep back to their customer list. It would take the customer back to their dedicated landing page, and that order would be on your dashboard as a submitted order. As we see, because we were working on it, it's unsubmitted. So a supplier can follow along that there's an opportunity for about $400 that was created today at 10:35 in the morning. So in conclusion, whether it's EDI orders, marketplace orders, emailed PDF and Excel orders, orders dedicated through the portal, or even through retail experiences like Shopify, OrderEase can consolidate those orders into a single platform, standardize all the formats into a unified structure so that we can deliver that directly to the ERP and automate as much of the tedious and manual work as possible.